Support digestion and detoxification. During active holidays, digestion should be aided by taking plant-based enzymes like bromelain or papain with every meal. If alcohol is consumed, detoxification can be supported with products like zeolite or herbal extracts. Mitigate blood sugar spikes. To prevent sharp rises in blood sugar, fiber-rich vegetables and greens should be consumed immediately before eating cake or other sweets. This practice also assists the body's natural detoxification processes. Prioritize outdoor activity. Metabolism is boosted by spending time outdoors. Activities such as skiing, snowboarding, or simply walking in the forest help burn calories and improve mood during the winter season. Practice mindful eating and hydration. Overeating can be avoided by consciously tracking bodily sensations and planning meals that include protein and vegetables. Drinking adequate water, 30 milliliters per kg of body weight, helps maintain a feeling of fullness. Choose alcohol wisely. Calorie intake can be reduced by selecting dry wine or vodka with soda instead of beer or sweet cocktails. Alcohol should be consumed in moderation and alternated with non-alcoholic beverages to prevent dehydration. Redefine holiday hosting. Hosts can maintain their figures by focusing on table aesthetics and entertainment rather than just food. Harmful dishes should be transformed into healthier baked or boiled options, and leftover sweets should be given to guests to take home. Time sweet treats strategically. Sweets are best consumed in the first half of the day as a dessert following a main meal, rather than as a standalone snack. This prevents rapid insulin spikes and helps manage cravings. Identify the root of cravings. Desire for sugary foods often stems from nutritional deficits, candida overgrowth, or boredom. Addressing these underlying causes, such as by finding non-food sources of dopamine, is more effective than relying on willpower alone. Implement changes gradually. New healthy habits, such as increasing water intake or adjusting sleep schedules, should be introduced slowly. Radical changes often lead to stress and inevitable breakdowns, whereas gradual steps ensure long-term success. Find deep motivation. Lasting weight loss requires identifying the true, underlying reason for the goal using the 5 whys technique. Understanding how health impacts safety, relationships, or self-realization provides stronger motivation than superficial desires. Once upon a time, a prudent individual decided that the upcoming 10-day holiday marathon would not be a disaster for their internal organs. They viewed the festivities not merely as a feast, but as a tactical operation to give the pancreas a well-deserved vacation. The plan was simple yet brilliant. Enzymes like bromelain and papain were to be taken with every meal, acting as tiny, plant-based reinforcements. Understanding the treacherous nature of sparkling wine and stronger spirits, the hero prepared for detoxification in advance. To avoid a sugar coma, a strict rule was established. Before any fork could touch a desired piece of cake, a substantial amount of greens and vegetables had to be consumed first. This fiber barrier was designed to prevent blood sugar from skyrocketing and to assist in the grand cleanup of the body. The strategy extended to the great outdoors. Instead of hibernating, the protagonist embraced the winter, utilizing cross-country skis, sleds, and simple forest walks to keep the metabolism firing. However, being a wise planner, they also knew the value of pure, unadulterated relaxation. If the body wanted to lie on the couch for a day, it was allowed to do so without guilt. The motto was to enjoy life, whether through sports or lazy weekends, and then gradually return to a fitness routine, starting gently with 2 sessions a week. As a host, this individual underwent a dramatic transformation. Years ago, they would essentially force-feed guests until everyone gained 5 kilograms, unwittingly accelerating the aging process of their friends. Now, the approach was different. They turned harmful habits into healthy ones by cooking with the guests, focusing on the aesthetics of the table, and prioritizing dancing and games over endless chewing. A pitcher of water with lemon always stood proudly on the table, and the dangerous sweet treats were cunningly packed into containers and given to guests to take home for breakfast, thereby saving the host's figure. Preparation began well before the holidays. The heroes shrunk their portions by using smaller plates and focused on quality over quantity, choosing baked or boiled dishes over heavy pastas. They learned that eating hearty food at lunch aligned better with hormonal rhythms, and that reducing salt helped avoid looking puffy. Hydration was calculated with mathematical precision, 30 milliliters for every kilogram of weight. Navigating the world of nutrition, the protagonist realized that the promise of eating everything without gaining weight was a myth peddled by charlatans. Physiology could not be cheated. However, they found balance in the 80-20 rule. Eating cleanly most of the time allowed for occasional indulgences, provided one was healthy. Sweets were not banned, but were strategically rescheduled as a third course during the first half of the day, never as a lonely snack with coffee. The hero also delved into the psychology of cravings. They understood that the desperate desire for a donut might be due to a calorie deficit, sheer boredom seeking cheap dopamine, or even a malicious internal fungus called candida demanding sugar. To combat this, they created a list of 30 sources of joy that had nothing to do with food, teaching the brain to find pleasure elsewhere. They learned to listen to their body, distinguishing between physical hunger and the psychological hunger that strikes while scrolling through a phone. They discovered that genes determined how fast food was digested, meaning one person might be hungry in 2 hours while another stayed full for 6. Finally, the protagonist realized that lasting change required a deep understanding of one's motivation. It wasn't just about fitting into a dress. It was about safety, love, and self-realization. By asking why 5 times, they uncovered the true reasons for wanting to be healthy. And so, with a glass of vodka and soda in one hand and a plate of vegetables in the other, they navigated the holidays with wisdom, knowing that banning foods only created obsession, while conscious choice created freedom.